Hi squad members, my name's John Butterworth and I'm the Head of Operations, Growth and Engagement at Queensland Cricket. Yeah, I first started working within cricket back in 2014. I'd done about 3 years at Softball Queensland, and I guess having the opportunity to go work for one of the biggest sports in Australia and a sport I follow quite closely as a child was not only exciting but also a good opportunity to continue my development. And yeah, I've been here for nearly 10 years now and still loving the role. My first role at Queensland Cricket was what was called a Market Development Officer, pretty much the same thing as a Participation Officer, going out to schools and promoting what was known as the Milo Winter Cricket and T20 Blast at the time, now more recently Woolworths Cricket Blast, working with clubs, schools, and just trying to get as many kids playing as possible. That was in the southwest Brisbane pocket, but also areas of Ipswich as well, and that was really exciting. Yeah, after about 2 years in the Market Development Officer role, I moved into an Area Manager role of the MSW region and the Darling Downs. So it was a good opportunity to work across both a country and a metropolitan region. So working with about a team of 3, just developing some strategies to grow participation across the whole region, but also delving into other elements of growing cricket such as club development, volunteer support, and helping with infrastructure as well. So my role now works a little bit more broadly across the state, working hand in hand with the area managers to develop some operational plans to bring their area plans to life. I also manage the areas of diversity inclusion, and we're fortunate at the moment to have a lead in the multicultural space off the back of the T20 World Cup a few seasons ago, as well as having an Indigenous lead to drive a lot of our activity through our Reconciliation Action Plan. Furthermore, I also work pretty closely with the marketing team to cover a lot of community cricket storytelling, which may talk about things like volunteer recognition and just really exciting initiatives that are happening in the community. One of my earliest memories of cricket was probably hearing Dad listening to the radio. He's a pretty avid cricket lover. I remember growing up back in central Queensland, I was actually signed up to take part in the Junior Bulls Clinic, and in 2 weeks in a row I got rained out, and that was probably the end of my potential cricket career. I probably then revisited the game around 2006 when it was probably more towards the back end of the dominant Australian run, but one of my favourite players was Shane Warne, although it was that series I saw that Brad Hogg played a lot of cricket, and just watching him bowl I kind of just taught myself to bowl a wrong, and probably just comes out a little bit naturally. But I did get out Michael Kaspovich once. I'll add that to my scalps. That was playing courtyard cricket, but it all counts. Yeah, like I said, I grew up in central Queensland, so I probably never really saw myself working in cricket. I always thought it was more gearing towards rugby league. But after 3 years at working at Softball Queensland and really wanting to broaden my horizons, that's what led me to Queensland Cricket, and I met some fantastic people when I started. I'm still lucky enough to work with a lot of great people and dabble in a lot of different activities which really enhance, I guess, my skill set, which is awesome. And the people in cricket are amazing, and not just the volunteers but the people you get to work with, and Queensland Cricket's been great to me, and I guess I'm probably the person I am today for the work that I've done within cricket. Cricket and sport in general is probably just one of those things that breaks down barriers due to the passion that it brings out of people. There could be language barriers or different interests in certain things, but you can roll up to a game of cricket and it just brings a community together. You might also be a new person to a town and you join your local sports club or your local cricket club, and it's just a great way to meet new people, which makes it such a good community builder. Yeah, so like I said, I work in the Diversity Inclusion Department, and we are lucky enough to have our multicultural lead, Dr. Ash, who's been great with building richer relationships with a lot of our multicultural community groups. So we've connected really heavily with the Bangladesh Cricket Association, the Nepalese, the Pakistan Cultural Association to run Nations Cup tape ball tournaments, which is awesome. However, we know that a lot of these cricket competitions or cultural groups actually operate independently. So we've been able to sort of connect with them and do some initiatives that actually involve bringing them together and maybe even one day making their jobs a little bit easier, whether it be fixturing or organising umpires and looking for grounds. So long term, we have these tournaments, and we're looking to pop up a couple of different Cricket Blast programs to accompany these multicultural tournaments to bring in a new generation of multicultural participants as well. Thanks squad members, I hope you've enjoyed being part of this growing community, and I'm really excited about all the different initiatives and programs that are just around the corner. Whether you're a spectator or a participant at the highest level, or even just entering the game at a social level, there is something for you. I'm excited about the next stage of cricket, particularly with the release of our Multicultural Action Plan. And if you ever want any more information, contact Cricket Australia or your respective state association.